What's happening, YouTube, man? It's Flan Speaks lunchtime. I just got finished listening to a debate that was taking place between the former, he's still a rapper from the former group Brand Nubian, one of the groups I grew up listening to in the late '80s, Lord Jamar, and he's been talking a lot about the origins of hip hop. This here particular thing stemmed from brother Tariq Nasheed, who put together a video, a documentary, which I'm yet to check out, but I'm pretty much familiar with a lot of what he's going to handle, because I've been, I was born in the '70s, so I've kind of watched hip hop from its beginning to where it's grown. I remember having the Sugar Hill Gang records. I remember my older brother had everything. He was a little older than me. He was like in his teens already. So, we had, of course, that Sugar Hill Gang, which was considered to be corny. That was kind of considered commercial. But we talk about Cool Herc stuff. I remember going to the movies to see Beat Street. Like the whole nine, just going back. Melly Mel was the man, going back. But the point is here, there was this debate about the origins of hip-hop, and I kind of questioned why this is even kind of coming up. But on one hand, you had KRS1, a well-respected rapper, many consider top 5 dead or alive. Without a doubt, nobody questions the validity of KRS1. He's definitely a founding member of hip-hop for real. Though he came towards the latter stages of that first era, he pretty much was following behind guys like Melly Mel and so on, who he grew up idolizing to a degree. And then you had Busta Rhymes, who was pretty much portraying some of the same sentiments that KRS-One was presenting. Same with Fat Joe and some others. And basically what they're saying is that hip-hop was not exclusively a black African-American creation. It wasn't just from our creative juices, but had involved not only African Americans, but also, brothers from the Caribbean, brothers from Puerto Rico, Mexico, so on and so forth. And after listening to it, I just kind of found it strange. Now, I get where it's coming from. And I think a lot of it is just egotistical stuff when I look at it. KRS-One, he's of the opinion that no, it's something that inculcated more than just African Americans, which and when you look, I get it. KRS-One, though he was born in the Bronx, I believe, or Brooklyn, one or the other, his family is from Barbados. All right, so he is of Islander stock, right? So I guess I don't know if he's looking at it from the standpoint of does this exclude him if we say African Americans or what? Same with Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is from Jamaican ancestry. His parents are from Jamaica. They came here, though he was born in New York. And so he's of that same opinion. No, it was more than just African Americans or whatever. Fat Joe, as everyone knows, is Puerto Rican. He claims the Boricua heritage. He kind of identifies more with that lineage, other than Spain, right? Even though he kind of looks like a Spaniard more, so he's one of the light-skinned ones. He's of that opinion. And Lord Jamar is on the other side, along with some other rappers who are on the side of Lord Jamar. And me myself, I think Lord Jamar is more closer to what's correct than not, because if you listen to his argument, he's not really focusing in on where people were born and what influences they may have brought with from the places they were born. He's looking at it from the standpoint of it was a black African American creation culturally, if you look at the culture. And I believe he's right because, growing up listening to KRS-One, going back to my philosophy, J, the I, the M, the M, the Y, all of those early, the Bridge is Over, early songs from KRS-One. Nobody at all had any idea that KRS1 was an islander. At the, coming out, he didn't really identify with that. You would have just assumed he was just a dude from Brooklyn, just a black dude, or a black dude from the Bronx, rather. You would just assume that. Nobody would assume, now, he did have a few songs later on where he would use the accent, I remember a couple songs he was on. It was like a Stop the Violence type of song I remember he was on, and he kind of flipped into like the accent and all of that. But I didn't know if that was authentic, him being from Barbados or something like that, or whether or not that was just another flow of his. But really, you never really knew. Same with Busta Rhymes. Nobody had any idea Busta Rhymes was was Jamaican. Because typically Jamaicans, if they want you to know they're Jamaican, they're gonna do what Boogie Banton did, or they're gonna spit the way Jamaicans did. They're gonna do reggae. No, you're doing rap. You're sounding like us up here. And now, mind you, I don't consider us and Jamaicans to really be that different. It's just that they're down south, deep south, and we're up here. Even Jamaicans call us Yankees, for example. Which is a popular term for people up north, for northerners. But the reality is, Jamaicans have their own particular flavor and their own particular culture that differs from ours slightly. Their Rastafarianism, which is one of their popular beliefs that came out as a resistance movement against the powers, but it also has some religious elements to it as well. But that movement, for example, is specifically Jamaican in its origin. That's like, me or someone like myself claiming that the origins of Rastafarianism aren't Jamaican, but is, Philadelphian or something like that. You know what I mean? Like if I moved to Jamaica and just accepted their religion, so I don't really think they're right by saying that. And then, like he said, and I think that's his best argument, is that culturally they were acting like us. And the same thing we said with Fat Joe. We know Fat Joe is Spanish, but it isn't like he was rapping in Spanish. We know he's Puerto Rican, but it ain't like he was rapping in Spanish. Whatever clothing that Spanish people are unique to wearing or whatever. Whether it's the little flip-flop sandals or whatever, the way they dress in Puerto Rico, that was specifically what they invented. Fat Joe didn't come out doing that. Fat Joe was dressing like brothers, talking like brothers, and rapping like brothers from up here. So whatever origin and whatever his culture was, he was kind of hiding that and kind of acting, I hate to say it, but acting like us up here, which I'm okay with. But at the same time, let's not pretend as if we don't know those subtle differences between our swag and our slang and all of that kind of stuff. Like when they were rapping, he wasn't rapping the way his parents talk, put it that way. Same thing with Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes, when he was with Leaders of the New School, you had no idea he was Jamaican, which is cool, but why would he act as if there's this big Jamaican influence on rap? If it was, then why wasn't he rapping? I could imagine if Charlie Brown and the other guy that was part of the Leaders of the New School were rapping the way you rap up here, up north, and then Busta Rhymes was busting into some reggae style or something like that. But he wasn't. He was rhyming like us up here with his own style, with his own unique style, right? So I think the truth is, hip-hop emerged out of African American culture. Whether you call us Black African, whatever you call us, whether you just call us American, Black Americans, whatever term you use, because some people are funny about these terms now, But the foundational Black Americans, us, hip-hop was what we pretty much created. And it was something nobody else even wanted to be associated with initially. Even our parents, man. They was like, man, cut that noise off. Nobody wanted to hear rap back in the day. It was considered noise. It took forever for it to be considered music. It took forever for it to actually be considered a legitimate genre, you know, until like around Run DMC and so forth. So, like, let's not act like it was something other than a form of music and a form of like and a whole style, a whole genre that didn't originate like in New York, especially in places like the Bronx. Sometimes some people in Queens, you know, they claim that Queens has some elements as well. Yeah, so I think Lord Jamar's right. You know, and I think KRS1 and them, I don't know, man, I think it's their ego. They just want to be able to claim something. And there's no reason for them to do that. We consider KRS1 I always consider him just a black dude. Same with Busta Rhymes. I don't know why they got to act like, you know, their parents being from Barbados gives them the right to say that they were part of the origins of hip hop. I think it's crazy, man. But tell me what y'all think. Peace out.